Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the right choice to begin with. Why would you change your mind?
Because you can't deny what's deep within your heart. Sometimes...
But remember, this is just the beginning of the end.
Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Chop, chop. All things end. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. Fired up. That will come in handy. Nice shot. emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Globs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Cutting edge. Sharp steel. Between the eyes. Hand up, further you go. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Now that's a flesh wound. That's the good stuff. Slash them down. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall. and he's happy. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his... There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa... He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back. It was after the attack that the Unity fell apart. Your Muma's The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever... Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no... Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma... Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow in... You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with it. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for it. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai need. Only time will tell. At least his intent... You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so... One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even... You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest. He lost you there for a while, but no memory. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life. The tree started to die when the end... The genetic... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of date, the road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your... He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the... His friends have prepared... Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see.